morning, Golda Ock Academy, and welcome to Live with Mr. H. I'm Mr. H, and today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. It's day 29 of remote instruction. I want to wish a happy birthday to Ari K in 8th grade. The Great Middle School Cahoots took place this week. Here are the following winners. In 6th grade, Caleb L. In 7th grade, Josh R. And in 8th grade, Josh L. Congratulations to all our winners and all our middle school participants. This week's contest was to submit your best quarantine joke. We've been laughing all week at the entries. Here's the winner. In 9th grade, Izzy's joke. If people really need hundreds of rolls of toilet paper, they should have been going to the doctor before quarantine. Thanks, Izzy, for making us laugh. Last night would have been our middle school's opening night of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Unfortunately, our team is not able to do an official opening night, but they celebrated last night virtually and included some special cameos from some Broadway stars. Let's take a look at an original cast member of Hamilton wishing our middle school cast and crew congratulations.
Hey, 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 hey! To the cast of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at Golda Ock Middle School. My name is Andrew Chappelle. I'm from the original company of Hamilton, and I want to wish you guys a virtual congratulations / happy opening night for your production of Joseph.
Thanks for that message. And you can go on our GOA Facebook page to see additional messages from Broadway stars. Today's guest is part of our social studies department. Please welcome Mr. Stern.
Good morning, GOA. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, Mr. H.
Hey there, good morning. I love your background, which reminds me, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Sure is. And I know that we're going to be celebrating virtually a little bit differently this year, but still obviously has great meaning.
Definitely. So, it's great to have you on the show, but I thought it would be even cooler if we brought a special guest. Would you want to introduce our special guest today?
Absolutely. Live from Manalapan, New Jersey, here is my mother. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Hi.
Good morning, Mrs. Stern.
Morning, Mr. H.
Well, happy early Mother's Day to you, and also happy Teacher Appreciation Week, as you were a teacher yourself for 23 years. So thank you for the service you've done for so many kids and their families. Since
Thank you.
we have you on the show, I thought maybe we could play a little bit of a game to see how well you know Mr. Stern and Mr. Stern knows his mom. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, so before the show started, we gave Mr. Stern and his mom the same questions to answer. They haven't seen each other's answers, and they're going to reveal them to each other live on the show. So, Mr. Stern, you're up first.
Okay.
What's a word or phrase that your mom said all the time growing up that drove you crazy?
Well, one thing that you should know about me growing up is that I have an older brother who was always much bigger, much more athletic, and always beat me up, always wrestled with me. But if I'm being honest, I usually probably started the fight. And so my mom's response would always be, not in the house, right? Whether it was us wrestling or playing hockey in the playroom.
Not in the house. All right, so Mrs. Stern, what was
That is,
the word or phrase that Mr. Stern said that drove you crazy?
well, to be honest, he's very sensible, and I couldn't think of anything that drove me crazy, but I have a funny story that goes to his character, that he's a character. This is something that took a lot of chutzpah. It was Mother's Day, and we went to a restaurant, and they had a limited menu. Now, Michael did not like anything on the limited menu in this restaurant, so he told the owner of the restaurant that if he would make him his favorite dish, his dad would pay him more. Well, he never asked us about that. So that was what I thought of for this question, because Michael's very practical and sensible, and I just couldn't think of anything that he said that annoyed me, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. So on the same theme of restaurants, if Mr. Stern was going to invite you over for dinner, what would the dish be that he would cook for you?
That kind of depends on whether he was pleasing me or his dad. For his dad, he probably makes shepherd's pie. But if it was for me, it would be short ribs.
Wow, I'm coming over, Mr. Stern. And what about if you were going over to Mom's house, Mr. Stern? What would she be making?
So likewise, in the same vein, right? I'm gonna have to go with my mom's brisket.
Excellent choice. All right, Mr. Stern, who's your mom's celebrity crush?
So, even though, as many people know,
I know.
as many people know, we are big Yankee fans in the Stern household. The truth is, my mom actually grew up in Queens in a time when the Mets first came around. And I remember a funny story that she always told me about how she had a big crush on Ron Swoboda of the Mets, so much so that as a child, she actually called up his hotel room and talked to, I believe, Tug McGraw to ask if she could get in contact with Ron Swoboda.
Wow. I don't know who any of those people are, but sounds exciting. All right, Mrs. Stern, what about for you? Who's Mr. Stern's celebrity crush?
If it could be a man, it would have to be either Derek Jeter or Mariano Rivera for the same reason. If it was football season, it would be a Dallas Cowboy. It might be Ezekiel Elliott or Amari Cooper.
All right, I'm sensing a sports theme here.
Okay.
And finally, last question. If a new national holiday was created for Mr. Stern, what would that holiday be called?
Well, Mike went to University of Florida, and when he was there, they were the national champions 2 years in a row. And Mike hates their rival, the Georgia Bulldogs. And every year they play in Jacksonville, which is sort of like supposedly neutral territory. So I would say that it would be the Gators beat the Bulldogs Day at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, because that's what the game is called.
Love that. And Mr. Stern, what about for your mom? What would her holiday be?
So it's actually a really good point. I do think that the Florida-Georgia game should be a national holiday. But from my mother's perspective, she's certainly always talked about how Super Bowl Sunday should be a national holiday, maybe even MLB opening day, but I think she'd lean more strongly towards the Super Bowl.
I've always thought the Super Bowl halftime concert should be a national holiday. Well, thank you both. Mrs. Stern, a very happy Mother's Day, and to all of our mothers out there, wishing you a great celebratory weekend. Thanks for coming on to you both.
Bye, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, my love. Thank you.
Finally, we have a special message from some of our students as we end what's been a really lovely Teacher Appreciation Week. Let's take a look. Thank you to our Community Service Club for that beautiful message. All right, Roadrunners, it's time to head to first period. Happy Mother's Day this weekend. Shabbat Shalom and stay healthy, Roadrunners.